Prepare for the ultimate battle of wits as the fiercest young minds in Southern Colorado face off in a high-stakes trivia showdown. Who will rise to the challenge? Who will claim victory? Find out now on Rocky Mountain Quiz Kids.
Welcome to Rocky Mountain Quiz Kids, where the brightest students from dozens of schools across Southern Colorado are competing for a chance to advance to the finals with a cash prize on the line. I'm your host, Scott Kilbury. We are very excited about today's third round matchup between the Classical Academy and Fountain Valley. We have the Titans and the Danes. Let's take an opportunity right now to meet the teams right now. Take it away, TCA.
I'm Nathan. I'm a junior.
I'm Davis. I'm a junior.
I'm Gracie. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Aiden. I'm a senior.
Nice to meet you guys and good luck. And how about Fountain Valley? Take it away.
I'm Tajan. I'm a junior.
I'm Ryan. I'm a junior.
I'm Mike. I'm a sophomore.
And I'm Nat. I'm a junior.
Nice to meet you guys and good luck as well. It's a third round matchup, the final round of the third round. Now let's get under the rules here. We begin with a buzz-in round. In this opening round, there will be 3 minutes on the clock. The first team to buzz in after I begin speaking will have an opportunity to answer the question within 5 seconds. If it's incorrect, then the other team will have a chance to answer that same question. Their teams will then be awarded 10 points for the correct answer until the final round, when it's also a buzz-in round, but all the correct answers in that round will be worth 20 points. Understand? So we're going to put the time on the clock, beginning with the buzz-in round for this third round matchup, beginning now. During what decade were cloche hats and bobbed hairstyles popular with flappers? Aiden.
1920s.
1920s is correct, and TCA is on the board. The Limpopo River forms part of the border between South Africa and what landlocked country? Davis.
Zimbabwe.
I'm sorry, the rest of the question is, whose capital is Gaborone? I'm sure I butchered that name, but do you have a chance here, Fountain Valley? We were looking for Botswana. All right, next question. In what modern day state did French Huguenots found Fort Caroline in 1564 along the St. Johns River in what is now Duval County? Davis.
Florida.
Florida is correct. Next question. What state whose Democratic governor is the billionaire hotel heir J.B. Tajan, excuse me.
Illinois.
Illinois is correct. Sorry about that. But you are correct, and Fountain Valley is on the board. What devices whose double type is often used to demonstrate chaotic motion consist of a suspended mass that can swing? Davis.
Pendulum.
Pendulum is correct. Next question. What family whose member Catherine married Francis Henry II was led by men such as Lorenzo the Magnificent? Aiden.
Medici.
Medici is correct. What novel in which the transported convict Abel Magwitch returns to England describes the education of the orphan Pip and is by Aiden?
Great Expectations.
Is by Charles Dickens, and you are correct. What two members of the Weasley family are jokester twins? Nat.
George and Fred.
You got it right. All right. And you are on the board as well. The Higgs boson was the first fundamental particle known to have a value, Nat.
Of 0.
No, I'm sorry. That is incorrect. I have a value of 0 for what intrinsic angular momentum? Nathan.
Spin.
Spin is correct. What two-word French phrase, which literally means white card, signifies the possession of full discretionary power? Ryan.
Carta Blanca.
Or carte blanche is what we're looking for, but I understand you got that. We'll give you that to you. What Japanese shogunate ended with Yoshinobu's 1869 defeat in the Boshin? Davis.
Tokugawa shogunate.
That is correct, Tokugawa. In 2023, the board of what organization devoted to the preservation of birds decided to keep its current name despite the namesake's support of slavery? Aiden.
Audubon Society.
Audubon is right. What crop in which Barbara McClintock discovered jumping genes or transponsons is the primary source of bioethanol in the U.S.? Nathan.
Corn.
Corn is right. What city is home to the Oriental Pearl Tower across from Davis?
Shanghai.
Shanghai is right. We heard the buzzer right there. That means that we are at the conclusion of the first round. As it stands right now, TCA with 100, Fountain Valley with 30. But it also brings us to our Power Pass question of the day, brought to you by the Pikes Peak Library District.
What is the geometric name for the 12-sided dice that you use in Dungeons and Dragons?
Tajan.
Dodecahedron.
That's right.
A dodecahedron is the fancy name for the 12-sided die. Whether you're a new player or a dungeon master, join us at Pikes Peak Library District for games of Dungeons and Dragons.
The correct answer puts more points on the board for Fountain Valley. Fountain Valley with 40 to TCA's 100. We have 3 more rounds to play. The volleyball round is coming up next. You're watching Rocky Mountain Quiz Kids. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rocky Mountain Quiz Kids. Time now for the second round, the volleyball round. Volleyball round, a conferring round where the teams have 4 minutes to answer questions, where we encourage the teams to work as a team, have the opportunity to answer the question through their captain. So that's why we're already huddled up here, as you can see. During the break, we did a coin flip. Classical Academy called it but didn't win it, so Fountain Valley had the opportunity to go first in this round or defer and go first in the lightning round, which they have chosen to do, go first in the lightning round. So that means that Classical Academy is going to go first in this round. We've explained the volleyball round. You won't ask each team the same question, just one question at a time. We're going to volley back and forth to a new question. Teams ready for that? Understand what we're up against? And we begin Classical Academy beginning now. What crop whose cultivation in the early 1900s was devastated by boll weevils was nicknamed king for its preeminence in the Old South?
Cotton.
Cotton is correct. Back over here to Fountain Valley. What country's authors produced the novels Christopher Unborn and The Labyrinth of Solitude, which are respectively by Carlos Fuentes and Octavio Paz? What country?
Ecuador.
Sorry, we were looking for Mexico. Back over here to TCA. What moon, whose namesake Clipper spacecraft will study its ice crust, is Jupiter's 4th largest moon after Ganymede, Callisto, and Io?
Europa.
Europa is correct. All right, Fountain Valley. In the play The Glass Menagerie, a figurine of what type of creature is broken during Jim and Laura's dance?
Elephant.
We're looking for unicorn. Back over here to Classical Academy. What food names a set of wars that included U.S. interventions to support the United Fruit Company and names a type of dysfunctional republic?
Banana.
Banana is right. All right, Fountain Valley. After shooting Abraham Lincoln, John Wilkes Booth allegedly shouted what 3-word Latin phrase, which is also the state motto of Virginia?
It's like Sic Semper Tyrannis.
That is right, which means thus always to tyrants. Back over here, TCA. What author who won a Pulitzer Prize in 1923 for her novel One of Ours depicted Jim Burden's friendship with a Bohemian immigrant girl in My Antonia?
Willa Cather.
That is correct. Fountain Valley. The towns of Watson Lake and Dawson City are in what Canadian territory whose capital is Whitehorse?
Yukon.
That is correct. What property describes, this is for TCA, what property describes a binary operation whose outputs do not change if the order of the inputs change, like addition or multiplication?
Commutative.
That is right. Back over here to Fountain Valley. What 2003 musical whose protagonist turns Fiyero into a scarecrow includes the song Defying Gravity, sung by Glinda and Elphaba in the Land of Oz?
Wicked.
Wicked right. That's right. All right, back over here, TCA. What group of veterans protesting to receive their World War I pensions during the Great Depression was violently dispersed by Douglas MacArthur?
Bonus Army.
That is right. What compound makes up most of the lakes on Titans, Fountain Valley, is a greenhouse gas 30 times more powerful than carbon dioxide and has molecular formula CH4?
Butane.
You're looking for methane. Faith Ringgold narrative exemplifies or examples of what artworks in which stitching is used to attach panels?
Quilting.
Quilting or quilts, yes. What present day, Fountain Valley, what present day country where the founder of the Society of Jesus was born was where Granada was captured in 1492, completing the Reconquista?
Spain.
Spain is right. TCA, what composer whose neoclassical period produced the Symphony of Psalms wrote a ballet where a riot broke out at the premiere, The Rite of Spring?
Verdi.
We were looking for Stravinsky. Fountain Valley, what city, which is on the Istruma Bluff on the eastern bank of Mississippi River, is home to Southern University and is the capital of Louisiana?
Baton Rouge.
You got it. Next question. The nearest white dwarf is in what binary system, which is sometimes called the dog star, and which is the brightest star in the night sky?
Sirius.
Sirius is correct, and we are seriously done with our second round as it stands right now. Classical Academy with 180, Fountain Valley with 90. You know, that also means it's time for our School of Rock quiz code. Viewers, please head to fox21news.com, click on contests, or scan the QR code to enter the code word for a chance to win a gift card from the School of Rock. Our code word of the day is Sirius. We still have a couple more rounds to go. You're watching Rocky Mountain Quiz Kids. A lightning round is coming up next. Welcome back. We're halfway through the competition. Time now for the lightning round. And now, since Classical Academy went first the previous round, that means Fountain Valley, who deferred to go first in this round, is going first. Also have the opportunity to pick among the 4 categories. Before we do that, we want to lay down the rules for you. We're going to have 60 seconds to answer all 10 questions. You can always pass on a question and return to it if there's still time on the clock. But if you don't get to that answer, or it's answered incorrectly, that means the opposing team has an opportunity with 30 seconds on the clock to answer those same questions and vice versa. So here are the categories. I'm going to ask you, Fountain Valley, first, which you would like to select from. I'm going to rattle them all off and you tell me after that. We have Romantic Era Poetry. Answer the following about British and European romantic poetry. Mountains. What country is home to these mountains? HI. Give the answers starting with the consecutive letters of HI, which may or may not be pronounced as HI. And our final category is multiples of 10. Give these answers that are multiples of 10.
We're gonna go with HI.
HI. Sounds good. And then we'll give an opportunity to Classical Academy to pick from the 3 remaining categories after this. So we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock for you to answer these 10 questions. HI, given the answers starting with the consecutive letters HI, which may or not be pronounced high. Beginning now. Ancient Egyptian writing system.
Hieroglyphics.
That is correct. State of low activity during winter.
Hibernation.
That is correct. Involuntary diaphragm movements.
Hiccups.
Correct. System of ranking.
Hierarchy.
Correct. Slight suggestion for finding a solution.
Hypothesis.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Retroactive understanding of a past event.
Hindsight.
That is correct. Break or leave of absence.
Hiatus.
Correct. Japanese heating device.
Skip. Pass.
Synonym for hairy.
Skip.
Island region near a coast or port.
Skip.
Let's go back to Japanese heating device. Time is up. Nevertheless, you put plenty of points on the board. You're back in contention. Fountain Valley with 150. Classical Academy with 180. Classical Academy, you have 30 seconds to answer any of the questions that they didn't get to, approximately about 3. Once again, the category, HI. Give these answers starting with the consecutive letters HI, which may or may not be pronounced high. Team ready? Beginning now. Japanese heating device.
Pass.
Synonym for hairy.
Pass.
Inland region near a coast or port.
Pass.
Back up to Japanese heating device. Give it a shot.
What about the one pointing toward a solution?
Oh, you're correct. Yeah, slight suggestion for finding a solution. Yes, thank you for that.
Hint.
Yes, you got that. I took your hint too. The Japanese heating device. Time is up, but you got the hint, and we got that on the board. We were looking for hibachi, a synonym for hairy, hirsute. Inland region near a coast or port is a hinterland. But now we have 3 other categories that you can select from TCA. I'm going to rattle these off, and you tell me which you would like to select with the remaining. We have mountains. What country is home to these mountains? Romantic era poetry. Answer the following about British and European romantic poetry. Multiples of 10. Given these answers that are multiples of 10.
We'll go with mountains.
Mountains it is. Once again, what country is home to these mountains? We're going to give you 60 seconds on the clock. Fountain Valley, you'll have a chance if they don't get to any of these questions. Mountains, what country is home to these mountains beginning now? Mount Fuji.
Japan.
Japan.
Is correct. Mount Kilimanjaro.
Tanzania.
That is correct. Pikes Peak.
United States.
That is correct. Mount Ararat.
Turkey.
That is correct. Mount Pinatubo.
Philippines.
Yes. Mount Elbrus.
Russia.
Yes. Mount Logan.
Canada.
Correct. Mount Aconcagua.
Ecuador. Oh,
I'm sorry, that one is incorrect. Mount Etna.
Italy.
Yes. Mount Kosciuszko.
Australia.
That is correct. And that concludes that category. You got all but one, even before the 60 seconds were up. So that means that we have 30 seconds we're going to put on the clock for Fountain Valley. There's just one question that he did not get to. The mountains. What country is home to these mountains? You have 30 seconds to answer that one question. You guys ready? And begin now. Mount Aconcagua.
Argentina.
Argentina is correct. And that is the conclusion of the lightning round. Fountain Valley with 160, Classical Academy with 280. So there's still plenty of game to be played here. We're going to have our final round and find out who advances to the semifinals. You're watching Rocky Mountain Quiz Kids. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Time now for our final challenge. It's a 3-minute buzz-in round, similar to the first round, but this time around, the correct answers are worth 20 points. Remember, not a conferring round, so when you buzz in, you must answer the question within 5 seconds. If it's incorrect, then the other team has the opportunity to buzz in and get that same question. You guys ready? Understand what we're up against for the final round. But before we do that, we do have as a substitution for Fountain Valley. Who do we have over here for the Danes?
I'm Luke, and I'm a sophomore.
All right, Luke, good luck. Nice to meet you. All right, now we're getting underway for our final round. Our final round is beginning now. While the Northern Lights are formerly the Aurora Borealis, what adjective describes them?
Australis.
Australis is correct. The 2022 sequel to Knives Out has what title? Ryan?
Glass onion.
Glass Onion is correct. What precious objects are called baroque, if not spherical, are one of the birthstones of June and are found by divers? Tajan?
Pearls.
Pearls is correct. Advocates for what substance decried the crime of 73, supported the Bland Allison Act, and promoted bimetallism or the coining of Davis?
Steel.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Or the coining of it alongside gold. Ryan?
Silver.
Silver is correct. Google's Sycamore claims to have achieved what form of supremacy in which it can solve a problem normal computers can't by using entangled qubits. Nat?
Quantum computation.
Quantum is correct. What country where the Battle of Kasserine Pass was fought contains the ruins of Davis?
Tunisia.
Tunisia is right. What 1794 treaty, which Speaker of the House Frederick Muhlenberg was stabbed for supporting, was negotiated with Britain by a New York Federalist?
J Treaty.
J Treaty is correct. What battle in which American General Joseph Warren died saw British forces in 1775 seize land near Boston that actually covered Breed's Hill? Davis.
Bunker Hill.
Bunker Hill is correct. What devices, some of which have a proton exchange membrane separating their electrodes, produce electricity by oxidizing hydrogen gas to form water? Nat.
Electrodes.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. How about Classical Academy? Want to give it a try? Aiden?
Anodes.
No, we were looking for fuel cells. Tom Anderson was a co-founder of what website, a forerunner of Facebook and the world's, Ryan?
MySpace.
MySpace is correct. I still have my page. Hey, what property is possessed by a matrix that equals its own transpose and is possessed in radial form by a shape? Davis.
Symmetry.
Symmetry is correct. What author described the effects of mescaline usage in the Doors of Perception and depicted beta and alpha casts in his dystopia Brave New World?
Aldous
Hayden.
Huxley.
That is correct. In June of 2022, what former Italian prime minister who was implicated in the Bunga Bunga scandal died at age 86? Nathan.
Silvio Berlusconi.
Yes, that is correct. Next question. Islas Malvinas is the Argentine name of what archipelago? Davis.
Falkland Islands.
Falkland Islands is correct. And that concludes our final round, and it was a good one at that. Valley with 280 points. The Classical Academy running away with it with 420 points as the Titans are advancing to the semifinals. Congratulations to you. Fountain Valley, congratulations for a great run. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. We sure enjoyed having you here. Thank you so much. And we hope you at home also enjoyed our competition today. Be sure to tune in next week for the semifinals of Rocky Mountain Quiz Kids. You can catch it at 5:30 on Sunday on SoCo CW. We'll see you then.